All right, so on today's video, we are going to be grading every player for the 2024 season thus far on the New York Mets. Different than the normal podcast. Want to give you guys some unique YouTube content over here. So we're going to grade them. We're not looking at stats. We're simply just going to be going off feel, vibes, everything. We got the whiteboards out. We're going to be throwing the players' faces and stuff above us. And you guys can let us know in the comment section below whether you agree, disagree, all that good stuff. Don't forget to like as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the videos we're bringing you as well as the podcast. So James, ready to hop into this?
Yeah, super ready. Also, just good time to do it. It's like quarter of the way through the season. Nice time to like take a look at everything and see where we are. Because the Mets team is like right dead in the middle of everything. I actually don't know. We're recording this on Wednesday in the rain delay before the last game of the Cardinals series. So things could change against the Braves depending on when we actually edit this and put it out. But this is what we're doing right now.
All right, first, let's get started off with Luis Severino. He's had a pretty good year. He's on a one-year contract. He's really cheap. I think I know my grade right off the rip. Where are you going to go? 3, 2, 1.
Whee.
I went A.
Oh, me too. Exactly. A.
Yeah, I mean,
exact
that was
same.
pretty obvious. He's been, I don't want to say phenomenal, but for what we're paying him and for what it could have been, he has been phenomenal.
I think he's been fantastic. I would almost go say phenomenal. I think he's, again, before the start Saturday against the Braves, I think he's like 7th or 8th in the National League in earned run average. Strikeouts are a little bit lower than where he's been in the past, but he's just a little different pitcher now. We talked about in spring training a lot when they signed him that he was throwing more sinkers and more changeups for lefties. He's been throwing both of those a lot. He's been better against lefties. He's been probably the most start-in, start-out reliable pitcher in our rotation.
Yep.
He's been fantastic, and I'm really happy about him going through the summer now.
Brett Batty, James. Brett Batty. What are you giving old Brett the Met Batty playing third base? This is actually probably one of the tougher ones.
This is a weird one.
I might surprise a few people here. I got my grade.
I got mine too, yeah.
3, 2, 1. Went B+.
Okay, I went B-.
Okay, why'd you go B-?
I went B- just because the shape of his season is worrisome to me right now. He basically had 4 good games, 4 bad weeks, 1 good game. And in doing all of that, it has his OPS plus, his WRC plus above 100. And the B is just for the defense because he's been really good defensively. He's been like an above average third baseman. Exactly what we wanted to see from him this year. But just I'd like to see Brett hit the ball with authority more consistently.
That's a fair statement. I give him the B+ because, again, the defense has been fantastic, I would say. He's been really good at third base, making a lot of great plays. And he's showing me the sparks. Like, when he has those good games, I go, there he fucking is. There's Brett Batty. He's just not doing it consistently enough. But still, what did we say at the beginning of the year? Give
average.
us 2022 Alec Boehm at third base, and that's pretty much what he's doing with better defense.
Exactly. And he's hang on for 4 years, then become an all-star.
Next up, we've got another reliever here. We've got Jake Diekman. Jake Diekman, friend of the podcast, just followed us on Instagram. Shout out to you, Jake. Appreciate you. Feels like a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
I'm just going to A.
I gave him a B. It's been really good.
The reason I went A is because he's now taken over that high leverage lefty role, which was what he was not supposed to do because of Brooks Raley, and he's handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he gave up the hit to Giant DeLuca, right? He gave up that hit. But that's also not really the situation he's meant to be in, and once you get to those extras, it's a crapshoot.
Totally. And I just did B instead of an A because he still is an agent of chaos.
Yes.
So whenever my relievers are agents of chaos, like I like you and I'll like his stuff is nasty and I'm comfortable with you on the mound, but there's always like a little bit in my head like this could go haywire at any moment. That's just the difference between A and B for me from reliever.
Let's go with Omar Narvaez.
Omar
Narvaez. What are we going to give old Omar? I think we both are on the same page here. This is
I think it's the only F on the team.
It's at least the only F I can think of at this exact moment.
Yeah, it's just giving up a historic pace of stolen bases while also having an OPS that starts with a 5. It's hard to justify a roster spot.
Yeah, he started the season off, I think, 4 for 4 as well.
I think 3 for 3 maybe, but
and he's
same
hitting
idea.
like 130. It's just been bad. And this isn't really the Mets' fault. This is more Billy Epler's fault. And I would assume that when Francisco Alvarez comes back, we might be seeing an Omar Narvaez DFA.
I think ironically, he left the Brewers.
He did.
So David Stearns chose not to re-sign him.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
He said, we don't want this guy. Billy Epler gave him $8 million a year.
And
David Stearns is like, you motherfucker. Now we're stuck with him again. I didn't want this guy.
That's his gift on the way out.
All right, next up, you guys see the face up there. Edwin Diaz. What is going to be your Edwin Diaz grade? This one's weird because he's technically pitching well. But is this the same Edwin Diaz that we've seen in the past? And it's kind of hard to say. 3, 2, 1. B+.
I did B.
You go first.
Okay. Again, Edwin's been fine. I think Edwin is still one of the 10 best relievers in baseball, 12 best relievers in baseball. But right now, just where his fastball is and how rusty he still seems, he's not the best anymore. He blew the save over the weekend in Tampa. Him blowing a save knocked him from A to B to me.
Yeah, I think the fact that the stuff is just not back to where it was, it's not that I think he's any worse than he is, or that I'm disappointed in the season having getting B+. It's a pretty good grade. I would have loved to get some more B+ at school. Edwin Diaz is having a good year. He's just not as dominant as he was.
Yeah, he's great right now. He's good. He's not great. Very good, not great.
What grade are we giving Jose Butto thus far? 3, 2, 1.
Woo!
B-.
Said A+++.
So the reason I'm going B- is that
Rude.
I think he's been good. I think he's been solid. I think he's been what this team can use. But these last couple starts have been a little bit shaky. And there are some changes that he needs to make to maybe his repertoire and how much he's using it. Keith brought it up a couple times in the last few starts. He's got to throw the fastball a little bit more. He's been really reliant on his changeup, and it's been getting hit.
Well, the opposite of that actually happened on the Tuesday night game against the Cardinals, where the Mets couldn't hit off Mikolas. They come back and won off Mikolas. Butto really had no feel or command for either his slider or his changeup, which have been his best two pitches in that game. He threw 65% fastballs.
That's
in
good.
One.
And he was pretty effective.
Yeah, and it was a very lefty-heavy lineup. I think the Cardinals had 5 lefties in that lineup, and there was a lot of two-seamers and sinkers, which he was really using and just like dart away from them, which was a really nice pitch that he was using. I love Butto, what he's done this year. I like kind of meme the A+++ just because I love the guy, and I just think the way that what he's been compared to what this Mets roster truly needed has been a perfect fit.
Yeah.
And he's had a couple bad starts in a row. 2 of them were against the Cardinals, which is an underrated lineup. He had to face them twice in
A week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, he had to face them twice in 3 starts, which is hard. One's against the Dodgers.
Maybe be a little harsh on him, but
No,
instant reaction, I went B-.
Instant reaction, I'm astounded with how well Jose Butto's pitched. ERA is still 3.0. He's looking a good pitcher. I'm happy with Butto.
How about the DH? How about JD Martinez? What grade are you giving JD? It's been short. It hasn't been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But JD has played some games now. 3, 2, 1. I went D.
Give him a C.
I went D, and the reason I went D is because there's been so much hype about this guy. And granted, me and you knew that this was a possibility.
Yeah.
We had known, I feel like, more than most people had been a little pessimistic on him.
This also isn't the end.
This isn't the end at all. No. I mean, he's played, 15 games? Maybe.
Yeah, I think fewer.
Maybe.
I think maybe 8 or 9.
And this is still basically the first week of the season for him, especially considering he had no spring training. But there's been no power whatsoever. It's been singles. And that's what concerns me, and that's why I give it D. Hopefully it wakes JD up that I gave him a D.
Yeah, hopefully. Again, I don't know. He's striking out a bunch. The ball is different, so that's curtailing his power. And last year, LA was a much better place to hit than New York.
Yeah, just a little bit better.
Let's see the summer, though.
Oh, well, I got a fun one for you that I think we're going to agree on pretty easily.
Okay.
Reed Garrett.
Okay.
Reed Garrett. And just show it. We know what it is. It's A++. It's
A++++++.
Just where would this team be? I mean, which is funny because they're 500 when we're recording this. Where would this team be without Reed Garrett, who has been the best reliever on the Mets, arguably the best reliever in baseball this year?
There's 3 or 4 games I can look back to at the Mets won almost because of Reed Garrett. The Braves game in the first series, there was that Dodger night game. He's done, was it the Brewers game? No, what was the first Reed Garrett game? It was the Tigers game. The first Reed Garrett Tigers game. Been 4 or 5 games this year where you can look back and be like, the Mets won because of Reed Garrett. And he's firmly placed himself on the top of the reliever list in baseball. He gets pitching ninjas every night now. Did you know that? Every night pitching ninja has Reed Garrett clips.
Tyrone Taylor.
Yeah.
Love Tyrone.
Yeah.
Guy's a ball player. This feels insane, but I'm just gonna do it.
What?
A+. I love Tyrone Taylor.
Give him a B+.
That's a good ball player. He plays great defense. God, do I love how this guy plays baseball. He crushes fastballs, goes up there, takes hacks, and you know what's an underrated thing about his game?
What?
I don't know if you've noticed because I haven't been in America very much. He comes out to a ripped SoundCloud Jamaican dance hall song that's for sure not on Spotify because the quality is so bad. So that means he went to Razor with a USB, plugged it in and said, "This is my song."
Or he sent him a pirated file.
Yeah.
Well, shout out Tyrone, my favorite My Morning Jacket song.
He's been great. I think he's really good. Perfect for a 4th outfielder.
Yeah, and I just the only thing I don't like about Tyrone Taylor is the position sometimes Carlos Mendoza puts him in. Hitting second and playing center field probably more often than Brandon Nimmo.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little hairy there, but he's a great ball player. I'm happy he's on the roster.
Another outfielder, Brandon Nimmo. I think I'm going to surprise some people with my grade. I think you might as well. I went A+.
I went A.
I think Brandon's just been phenomenal. If you look at all the underlying numbers as well, like on Baseball Savant, he's hitting the ball harder than he ever has. I think he's 14th or 15th in Major League Baseball in terms of barrels. He's starting to tap into that power. I know the average is still in the 220, 230 range, but that doesn't fucking matter, as we know. And he's been playing good outfield defense again.
And another key there is, like, last year he had the power, but he didn't have the patience. A lot of people said he had the lowest walk rate of his career, which is true. Right now he's doing both. I think he has like the 360 on base, and he's hitting the piss out of
And
the
not
ball.
striking out too, I think.
No, he's having a season that I think we might look up in a few years and be like, oh my God, Brandon Nimmo might get his number retired.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. We're like, this guy is low-key going to be one of the best Mets players in history.
He's so good.
He's so good.
I'm so excited for this tear he's going to have this summer, hopefully.
Next up, we've got Adrien Houser, which has just been moved. Who's just been moved to the bullpen. Things aren't looking great.
Nah.
3, 2, 1. I went D.
Yeah, D minus.
Yeah, I'm not going to give him an F because he had a couple starts that were good.
Yeah.
And that, like, he had a good one against the Pirates. He had a good one against the not Brewers. Who they play after the Brewers? The Tigers?
Yes.
He pitched well against those two teams. He's been horrible since.
Awful.
And he's been moved to the bullpen. So I don't think we can give him anything more than a D. It might be a DFA soon.
Yeah, I don't think DFA him. I think he's a Stearns guy. He still offers something that I think they want in this team. It's just going to get a little hairy when Peterson and McGill are activated. Hopefully, eventually, Kodai Senga, where his spot in this team is.
Back to the reliever side, Jorge Lopez.
Ooh.
Jorge Lopez. I think this one is also really easy. Just show it when you can. It's going to be an A. It's a simple A. He's been money. The Mets don't really have a real setup man. They've been using him and Ottavino, and both of them have been equally as effective.
Yeah.
And Jorge Lopez, a guy who came into the year as he was free. Mets
$2 million,
didn't
I
pay
think.
anything for him. Someone that I bet you a lot of Mets fans and even just baseball people have kind of given up on a little bit, and he's been great.
Awesome. Great fireman, the reliever. He's kind of also weirdly been, I guess, third in line. I guess him and Ottavino tied third in line behind Reed Garrett being the number one fireman. What?
I'm just laughing at Reed Garrett. Like,
yeah, I love Reed Garrett. He's the best. I love this guy. But yeah, Jorge Lopez, great bargain signing. David Stearns masterclass.
Harrison Bader. Where are we putting Harrison Bader in terms of our grades? I've got one.
Yeah, me too.
C.
Same.
He's exactly what he is.
Yep.
He hits singles. He plays good outfield defense.
And he doesn't hit them that often, but when he hits them, I guess he hits them. But he's such a good defender in center field.
Well, like, he does kind of hit them often. He's hitting like 270.
I think the OPS is 5-ish.
Yeah, no, the OPS, but that doesn't
true.
tell you how often he hits singles.
The one thing I really do like about Bader on this team and this fit and everything is that it seems like everybody loves him.
And that guy fucks.
He definitely fucks. And he brings a great vibe to the team. Like, he's doing fun celebrations in the outfield. He just brings a good energy to the ball club I think they've been missing.
Like, I'll say this about the next guy. I hate when this next guy dresses up all cool and fancy. Pete Alonso, that's who we're grading next. When Harrison Bader dresses up all cool and fancy, I'm like, this guy fucks. I like it. He's a single man in New York, sliding in those DMs. Pete Alonso.
Couldn't even imagine Harrison Bader's roster.
Whew, this one hurts me to do right now for Pete. Remember, first quarter of the season, I gave him a D.
I gave him a C+.
And the reason I gave him a D is because he just hasn't been very good.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's
He's been terrible defensively as well.
Yeah, but still first base. Who cares? But he's still, again, him not being that good is still, I think, still him being fine. I bet even by the time between us recording this and us editing this, that he's going to wind up with 3 more homers. His OPS going to raise by like 100 points. Like, and again, it is a shit thing to talk about, but the fact that the whole league can't hit right now, shout out Major League Baseball for whatever they're doing to those balls. You have to grade everyone on a slight scale, every hitter on a slight scale.
Shaun Manaea.
Okay.
What are we doing with Shaun Manaea? What grade are we giving him? I got a pretty boring grade for you. Show it. I'm going B.
I'm going to B+.
All right, you go first.
I think you're being a little critical of him. The ERA is still remarkably low, and the name of the game is stopping the other team from scoring runs.
True.
But striking out fewer guys, walking more guys, I think he's going to regress a little bit. There's going to be something that happens with Shaun Manaea the next few weeks. Like, there's going to be a blow-up coming that sends his ERA from 3 to 4. I know that. But just as of right now, we're grading him on the first quarter of the season. He's been quite reliable and he's been effective.
Yeah, performance-wise, I think you're more in line. I think I'm waiting for that because the last few starts have been a little bit tougher. He has surprised me though. I've been pleasantly surprised with how well Shaun Manaea has pitched.
Why? If you listen to my scouting report, 5 and dive. He has a couple pitches that he moves around a lot. That's what he is.
I know, but sometimes you just gotta see it.
Yeah, he's something
that's the old baseball saying. You gotta show me. All right, some guy who doesn't have to show you. Adam Ottavino.
Okay.
We're giving old Otto going A.
Also going A. Shaky the last few times out. 2 out of 3 of his last outing. Again, as we're recording this on Wednesday, the Rocky save. I said that working for Roto World now, guys. So I gave that update.
Job.
Rocky, I got a job. Finally got a job. But Rocky save, and it got quote tweeted by Mike Petrello. He was like, I remember some Rocky saves for Adam Ottavino. But 2 out of 3 outings, not that good. But the sweeper's still fucking disgusting. So we'll take it.
DJ Stewart.
Okay.
Old DJ. I mean, I've been loving how this guy's playing this year.
Yeah.
For me, DJ Stewart gets an A.
All right, I give him B+.
And I think that's fair.
Totally.
DJ gets an A because he's exactly what we thought Daniel Vogelback would be.
Yeah.
Low average, high on base, with some power, popping that bat. Played a little first base the other night, too.
He did.
That's huge. If he can just exist at first base and catch the balls that are thrown to him, that at least gives Pete a day to get a rest day, or even to allow him to play DH every once in a while just to clear his head. And what do you know? The next day, Pete, home run. Had a great game. So
yes.
That, to me, alone, huge.
Other part of it, though, is that now with JD in the lineup every day, JD Martinez, they're asking DJ to play a little bit of outfield.
He is bad at it.
He's not that good at that. He dropped a fly ball Tuesday night that really kind of opened the floodgates for a moment against Budo, but the hitting is still it's sensational. He's one of the best hitters in the lineup every day, which is crazy to say.
800 OPS for that guy. Stud. Jeff McNeil.
Yeah.
This one hurts. I love Jeff.
Definitely will hurt.
I hate to do this on video. He's a friend of the pod, friend of the channel, but I gotta give Jeff a D.
I'm also giving him a D.
Yeah, Jeff has been bad now for a year and a half. Since he won the batting title, his average is, I think, around like 230 or 240 since then.
I think it's actually up to like 260 after he went 3 for 3 on Tuesday. So I think that's okay, but I think the OPS still like 630. And the weird thing with Jeff is that the defense taking a step back this year. If Jeff was just still playing good defense, I think I'd still give him a fine grade. But it's the fact that both of those facets of his game have gone downhill. One of them needs to come back fast.
Yeah, I really hope it's the offense. I really do.
Even take defense. It's fine. Just give me something.
Just got to give us something. Joey Wendle.
Ew.
What are we giving old Joey Wendle? I lied. I lied earlier when I said this might be the only F.
Yeah.
Joey Wendell's also getting an F.
Give him a D minus.
As the time-traveling baseball player, I would love to send him back to 1920. He's just not very good. Like, if Luis Angel Acuna could be any sort of okay, he's on this roster right now taking that spot and probably gives you more upside, but he's looked horrible in the minors, so we still have to keep Joey Wendle around.
Yeah, Joey Wendell's not very good, but he's not as bad as Narvaez, so I didn't give him an F.
That's fair.
That's it.
He's not giving up doubles.
He hit Kyle Gibson the other day when he has insane career numbers against Kyle Gibson, which is hilarious. I think he went 2 for 2, so we'll give him that.
Jose Quintana.
All right.
Man, what do I do with him? Me and you, I think, both agree he's just whatever as a pitcher.
He's also about to pitch.
He also is about to pitch, and things could change in a heartbeat. All right, 3, 2, 1. B- / C+.
You can't give 2 grades.
Well,
what are you doing?
I'm hedging in case he pitches like shit.
Okay, well, you just got to do what we've seen so far.
B- then.
Yeah, okay, I also did B-. He's fine, but then you guys can see the bad side of Quintana. One bad blow up, and the ERA goes from low 3s to high 4s.
Yeah.
Which is probably where he is. He's probably a mid to low 4s guy, especially when that's just the guy he is at this point in his career. But he's been good. He's been eating innings. That's what we needed. Only Mets pitcher to complete 8 innings this year.
Francisco Lindor.
Oh, there's another weird one.
What are we going to give Francisco Lindor? I think, oh, man. What is the year that I give him? 3, 2, 1. B-.
Give him a B.
Okay.
Same.
I thought you were going to go in the A range, honestly.
No, because you look, and he's still not the full season. We're grading him on the first quarter of the season.
Yes.
And the first quarter of the season still included 2 weeks where he got like 4 hits.
Yeah, the first quarter of the quarter, too.
Yeah, the quarter of the quarter.
Yeah, he was pretty horrendous.
Terrible. He's still playing fantastic defense. And now all the batting stats are starting to come up. I think he's up to 20 RBIs now.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about from where he started this season. So he's still pacing himself because we're not fully a quarter of the way through yet. Still pacing for almost 100 and 25 homers, which is amazing. And we know he's going to get there. It's just that bad stretch, and now he's been really good again.
Yeah, I do still want to see that left-handed swing get a little bit better.
Did you watch yesterday? He was great.
Yeah, I know. Just a little more consistently.
I think he had 3 hits left yesterday alone, and it was all fields.
Yeah, I want to see him pull the ball with some power. He hasn't really pulled the ball left-handed for some power.
He lefty home run the other day.
Yeah, but not
Sunday
for power.
Afternoon. He hit the home run.
He didn't pull it.
Yes, he did. Sunday afternoon, he hit a home run against Pepio. First inning.
He pulled it?
Yes, pulled it out of the Tropicana.
I thought he hit it to left center.
It was Greek Easter. He
pulled
the
shit
out of it.
All right, well, you know what? B-. Tomas Nido.
Oh.
You can give Tomas Nido for a grade. I'm going to be honest. I don't really know. This was the initial reaction.
Yeah, me
gut
too.
Feel C+.
Give him a B.
I give him a C+ because he at least has thrown out runners.
Yes.
And he's weirdly hitting the ball better than he ever has in his career, which sounds crazy because I think he's hitting like 160 with a 500 OPS. But
hit it hard.
He's hitting it hard, and he's striking out less than he ever has.
He hit it hard enough to bounce off Nolan Arenado's glove on Tuesday. He hit also the home run against the Cardinals.
Maybe he owns the Cardinals.
I couldn't find SNY broadcast Tuesday night, so I was watching a Valley sports stream. And the announcers were calling him a Cardinals killer. They were like, Tomas Nido, Cardinals killer. So got the Cardinals killer moniker. And with Alvarez going down, it felt like a disaster for the Mets catchers of how bad Narvaez has been. And he's at least leveled it a little bit and kind of taken over starting catcher roles from Omar Narvaez.
Okay, yeah. I mean, listen, C+, B, I think we're in the same range. Shaun Reed Foley, SRF,
hell yeah.
The insane human that he is.
Hey, baby.
I'm going B.
He hasn't given up a run yet.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
that's
sitting,
also...
He's sitting 96, 97.
It's like quasi-true. He's not giving up, like, a run technically, but he has allowed some inherited runners to come in.
Sure, yeah, but also he hasn't given up a run.
I've been pleasantly surprised with how
He's
well
awesome.
he's been. When I see, like, Jorge Lopez and what these other guys have done, he just can't be in that same tier for me.
No, totally. But I think I'm also grading these guys partially on expectations.
Okay.
Which part I would love to chug a monster with Shaun Reed Foley.
I'd love to
so badly
get hammered and have 20 beers with him.
Yeah, like I'm not someone, I've never had a dip in my life, and I've drank maybe one monster. If I hang out with Shaun Reed Foley, I would do both of those at a high clip.
You will throw up instantly.
Probably, yeah.
And the dip is really going to send you. Back to the outfield here. Starling Marte.
Ooh.
What's the Starling Marte grade? Show it. C+.
Gave him an A.
Gave him an A.
Well, yeah, what's your rationale for a C+?
I don't know. His like OPS is like 710.
The league average OPS is 680.
Yeah,
I think he's a 115 WRC plus guy, and
is he 115 WRC plus?
110.
It just feels like Starling Marte is completely fine, and that's why he gets the plus. I'm encouraged because I thought he was dead, but also at the same time, like, really, what is he doing that much? I don't know.
He's hitting the ball well. He's been a useful cog at the top of the order, and again, he's hitting the top of the order. I don't think he should be hitting the top of the order, but he has been hitting fine there. And then the other key with Marte is that he's won games with his arm.
He did save that game against the Cubs.
He has 3 outfield assists this year, 2 of them coming in extra innings, 1 game against the Cubs. That if we didn't win that game, we'd be in a miserable losing bout before this Cardinals series. I think he's done, especially because when you consider how important he is to his team because of how much money he makes and his prominent spot in the batting order. I think he's had a very good season.
Okay, maybe that's just me.
And I'm very critical of Starling Marte, so I'm giving him an A.
See, this is like the flip side. You are not a Starling Marte guy per se. I love him. And I'm, like, disappointed.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the best I could have ever imagined Starling Marte playing, so I'm really excited about it.
That's one of the few times we disagree on this podcast. Francisco Alvarez. Yeah, what are you going to give him?
All right.
I went C.
I went B.
He just he did things that were exciting, but overall, he was just okay. And defensively, he couldn't throw anybody out either.
But no one tried to steal against him.
Not as much.
Which I think we said in the last podcast, 3 attempts against him?
Yeah,
and
not as much.
And so other catchers, there have been 52 attempts, and him there's been 3.
To be fair,
think about the ratios there.
To be fair, that is only on throws. There could have been stolen bases where he didn't attempt to throw as well.
Okay, I guess that's true, but there have been 55 stolen bases against the Mets, and I guess a lot happened in the game since he's been out.
No negatives against him. It's just one of those things where I'm like, he didn't take that step forward in the small sample just yet.
The one thing that I feel like if you told a Mets fan this, they would be like, no, is that Brett Baty has all better hitting stats than Francisco Alvarez. Higher OPS plus.
Kind of where I'm at.
That's what I'm saying. So I think Alvarez, he had such a good first week of the season when the team was not playing well, and then he just got cold and then got injured. But there's no fear or concern at all.
No.
But just I'm very excited for him to come back and just realize his potential.
Christian Scott. I mean, he's made one start, but
I'm scared to do this because we're going to release this after the Friday Braves start.
You can abstain. I'll do it.
I'll abstain. I'm abstaining. I want to see the Braves start.
A+. A+. It's simple. He's fucking
based on his
awesome.
first start. Yeah, he's the man.
He's sick. He's awesome. Next Mets ace. Last and final player, not a player. It's going to be the coach. Grade Carlos Mendoza this far. Mets are about 500 when we recorded this. And he's had some things. He's had an interesting start, I think, to his major league career. 3, 2, 1. Went B-.
I did B+.
Why'd you go plus?
Plus just because it seems like that the players ride for him. He brings good energy, and this team really, 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 really badly needed a shot of energy. And I think he's pushed a lot of right buttons, especially with the bullpen. I think he's had a really good feel there so far. I think the only thing I would knock him for bullpen-wise is maybe the way he handled the ending of the Christian Scott debut, trying to grab him, get him through the 7th. He does like to leave a lot of our starting pitchers in for an extra inning, but also we just need innings right now through the first month of the season. And then the only other thing I really don't like, and he stopped doing this, so it might have been a first 3-week thing, and now he's chilled out as a manager, was just he moved guys around the order in the beginning of the season a lot. Like, I didn't like the fact that Brett Baty's hit everywhere from 4th to 8th so far this season. Like, give guys a range. Let guys know that where they're hitting tomorrow doesn't affect the way they play today.
Yeah, my whole thing with Mendoza has been, like you said, I think he's been pushing the buttons well. I think there's some times where I don't agree with the decision, but it does work out, so yin and yang there. The lineup to me has been the weirdest one, and again, maybe this is Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso saying we need to hit 3 and 4, but like seeing Starling Marte hitting over those guys and then how many big at-bats he gets.
And Tyrone Taylor in the days he plays, hitting second.
There's just been some questionable things, and I will say, like, part of the issue with the running, too, I believe is on how the Mets prepare and get ready for this stuff. So I don't think they're perfect just yet, but first-year manager, first 35, 40 games of his career, some of the better ones that we've seen from some first-year managers in recent years.
Again, I think just feel and attitude are the two things I think you'll learn most
Love
from
it.
a manager this
Very
far
accountable.
in. Both of those are great. The way he
Yeah.
talks honestly to the media, the way that he answers reporters' questions with a just clear, direct answer, it's great.
Yeah, no, been impressed with Carlos Mendoza off the field more so than even on the field, honestly.
Those are grades.
Those are our grades. Let us know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Podcasts, they come after every single series. And we'll catch you guys on the next video or podcast. Whatever you watch them. Peace.
Peace out. Drop your guys' grades in the bottom for as many players as you want.